last week at the Sun Belt Tournament. We had a great start against Texas State. Shots were going in. Play good defense, rebounding the basketball. The next day against UTA, that wasn't the case. We made some early shots. They backed off of Bryce and Marcus Stroman, and both those guys responded by making some mid-range jumpers. But we settled for three-pointers early in the game with the lead. We normally make those shots and extend the lead, but unfortunately, they didn't go in today or Saturday, and we didn't get a chance to play for the championship on Sunday. It was UTA's championship game, obviously, as they lost the next night. It seems like every time someone beats us, they lose the next game. But disappointing end to the season at that stage because we wanted to go to the NCAA tournament, but we're very honored and excited to be one of the teams that's still playing and go to the NIT tournament. It's not the dance that we wanted originally, but we're quick learners. We proved that in Cuba with our salsa dancing there. And the guys are excited to be playing LSU. It's an opportunity to play an in-state game. We're all about playing the in-state opponents. We try to play everyone. A couple of teams, them and Tulane, have not been very responsive in games in the past, so it's a great opportunity. We would like to play this game at home. Our athletic director reached out to the commissioner this morning and also to a couple other people trying to get a read on the seeding. Since our RPI is much better, our record is much better. We feel like our gym's better. There are a lot of things that say that we should be a higher seed than we were. We've got the second best record in the tournament out of the 32 teams. But it is what it is, and we're excited just to be playing a short trip and go down the road to take on an LSU team that's going to be excited to play. A lot of times you get in the NIT and the SEC teams that finish tied for ninth or whatever they did are not very interested in playing at this stage of the year, but they'll be interested because it's a big step for them. They've not been very good. We've had a better RPI in team than them the last couple of years in the state. So with that, I'll take questions.
Did you get any answer, or why do you think on the season?
No answer. Bias. A lot of the old school guys think that LSU is better than we are, and they obviously haven't seen our facilities or looked at the fine print.
How do you refocus your guys? Just, it's devastating to not go have a season in how you wanted it to. So how do you refocus your guys to say, we still have an opportunity to do well in this tournament?
I think Bryce said it best on Saturday. It's an opportunity to get up and go to practice and let's go play. We've got a couple of guys from Louisiana on our roster. In fact, we've got a lot of guys from Louisiana, and it's important to them that we go represent our university and our athletic department and play well. And the NIT is a great tournament, as we said before the tournament, NCAA tournament came to be. It was the tournament. Unfortunately, that was like 73 years ago when the last time LSU came to Lafayette to play, long before any of us in this room were probably born. But it's opportunity to play and get better.
What about Jonathan and Jakeen? What is their looking like for their availability for Wednesday?
Hopefully they will be ready. Kevin Jakeenan had a chest x-ray this morning, came back clear, and he's getting some treatments today and was told by the doctor that he can do some underwater treadmill running and some shooting, and by playing on Wednesday versus Tuesday gives him an extra day's rest. Feel like Stove will be a little bit better as well, and hopefully both those guys will be at full strength. We need our full team to go play the best that we can play and be the type of team that we've been for the majority of this season.
When you looked at film of the UTA game, did they really take advantage of those guys in terms of not so much the level of play, but their strategies and what they did during the game? Was their game plan in reaction to not Jonathan at all
It's a good question. Not necessarily. Again, they backed off of us a little bit, played soft, tried to entice us to shoot more perimeter shots. But we didn't get to the free throw line in this tournament the way we have throughout the year, and we didn't shoot. We shot 60-something% instead of the 80 that we shot in conference play. So that was a thing that really hurt us in the game. We got out-rebounded, Kevin. I think that's one thing. Herbie had a nice rebounding game. He hasn't been rebounding in double figures, but he did the other night against us.
Coach, how do you think the role changes in the NIT will affect your team?
It'll be a little bit different. We talked about as a staff this morning. Certainly the quarters is different. The free throw shooting is different. The arc's different. So the offensive rebounding resetting to 20 is a little bit different, but it should speed the game up. And I'm anxious to see how it all plays out. We've not played in a situation where you've played quarters since Cuba. So we'll end the season the way we started it back in last August over playing the Cuban national team.
Going into it, are any of those 4 rules that you would, if you had a vote today, that you would vote to adopt?
In our game, maybe the three-point line would be the main one.
Bryce Washington had a great quote about keeping his head up, being a senior leader for these younger guys. How are the other seniors holding up now that they know who they're going to play and where they're playing?
They're doing well. I think, as you guys know, we had a NIT selection show party last night for the guys. They were excited to still be playing and to be a part of that, and looking forward to seeing how they respond today in practice. But they're excited to play. The seniors know it's another chance. Jonathan and Frank are from Baton Rouge. They've got a tremendous amount of family and friends there that'll be excited to watch them play.
Going on the road and just how you guys started the last game, how important is how you guys started this game on the road at LSU?
Well, we need to start well every night. We'd like to. We got off to a slow start against Texas State, a fast start against Arlington. But it's not about the venue. It's about the team that plays the best on Wednesday night for 40 minutes.
What is the attitude of the guys just about trying to get to New York?
They'd like to get to New York. We've talked about it, our history, and the team that went in the 80s. And when Notre Dame was in the tournament, we lost to Notre Dame, I believe, and Notre Dame's in it again this year. Dr. Savoy and I talked about that last night. But they know how special that can be. I've been fortunate enough to make that trip when I was at University of Alabama, Coach Murphy as well. We were on the staff together under David Hobbs that made it all the way, and it was an awesome experience to play in Madison Square Garden.
Does the dominance against Louisiana schools help prepare your team against LSU?
Well, it's a different day, a different game, but we haven't lost a game in a while in the state. Again, we love playing teams within the state, and 73 years is too long. And maybe that's why the NIT committee didn't want them to come over here. I can't answer that, but I think it's healthy for the state. It's good for Louisiana basketball. You look at the high school state championship that just went on. Lafayette had several teams that won state championships. Baton Rouge had several teams that won state championships. And I think it's good for the state. If LSU plays well and does well, gets the NCAA tournament, I think that helps basketball in our state. We've offered to play those guys in the past. We tried to play them a year ago in an exhibition game when the flooding happened, and they wouldn't do that. We tried to play tournaments, classics with the LABC, whether it would be here or there, and rotate. We wouldn't necessarily play each other, and they weren't for that either. But I think it's important for our state to rally behind this and make basketball better, because it's at a good place right now.
Why do you think they haven't returned calls instead or dodged you? And has that changed at all after the coaching change?
No, it hasn't. I called Will when he got the job, and we talked, and I called him. I didn't ask to play that day. I waited and called him back a few weeks later, but they're not interested in playing, and probably didn't want to play this game, to be honest. But hopefully it'll change in the future. I mean,
Why do you think not?
I can't answer that. I think everyone does what they think's best for their program. As a head coach, that's certainly what I do, and I would think he would do the same.
When you looked at LSU on film so far, what type of team do you see?
They've got a good team. Obviously, Waters is a good player and a scorer similar to Eric Neal, what we just faced, a smaller guard that can really score the basketball. They beat Texas A&M, an NCAA team twice. They beat Arkansas twice. They beat Michigan. They beat Houston. They beat some teams that are in the tournament. But Waters is a good scorer. Reith has had a really good year inside for him, a senior that was a holdover. Aaron Epps is a guy from Ball, Louisiana that we recruited. How can you not want a player on your team from Ball, Louisiana? And he's had a really good senior year. He stayed the course and certainly done well for them this season. Brandon Sampson's a guy that we watch play a lot through our recruiting at Madison Prep, and know that he's a very, very good scorer, very capable player. Skylar Mays has been solid for him. Wade Sims is another guy that we recruited a little bit, and I think he's had a good year for him also.
When you talk about the guys, the history of the tournament back in those 80s teams, I mean, how can you see that sort of ringing a bell, or are they thinking, that's ancient history?
No, I don't think they think it's that long ago, really. They understand our program. They understand USL and the NIT. And that was a great run back in the day. And there weren't quite as many teams involved in either tournament at the time, so it was even more special. But they understand the importance of this and the importance of continuing to play and have a chance to win a championship.